Let's transition to my favorite segment of the week. It's my Week 16 NFL Wise Picks. Let's get into these Wise Picks. We got 3 days of NFL action starting on the day before Christmas Eve on Saturday. And then we got games on Christmas Eve and on Christmas. Let's start off with the Saturday games. We have the Cincinnati Bengals favored by 3 points, traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff. The over-under for this matchup is 37.5. Jake Browning is playing some great football, folks. He's playing at an elite level. I saw something before his matchup against the Vikings last week. This was the highest completion percentage through the first 3 starts of these particular players' careers, 79%. So Jake Browning has the highest completion percentage through his first 3 starts. That's higher than Chad Pennington in 2022 and Justin Herbert in 2020. So Jake Browning is playing some great football. The Pittsburgh Steelers are struggling. They struggle to score points, and I just feel like that locker room is a little bit divided right now. They are divided right now as a locker room. We heard about Micah Fitzpatrick and Deontay Johnson getting into a fight earlier in the season, and we saw George Pickens not block for Warren, the running back, in the matchup against the Colts. I don't feel like the Steelers are a playoff team, and if you can score 10 points, you can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm rolling with the Bengals to beat the Steelers 20-13. Josh Allen and the surging Buffalo Bills are traveling to L.A. to take on the L.A. Chargers. It's an 8 p.m. kickoff. The Bills are favored by 12.5 points. The over-under for this matchup is 43.5. Listen, the last time we saw the Chargers on the field, they got blew out by the Raiders 63-21. But it was a good thing because they finally decided to fire Brandon Staley, something they should have done earlier in the season. But it won't be enough to overcome Josh Allen and this Buffalo Bills offense. The Bills are a better football team than the Chargers are. I'm rolling with the Bills to beat the Chargers 27-13. The Green Bay Packers, who are struggling, they are traveling to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. The Packers are favored by 5 points. The over-under for this matchup is 37.5. Jordan Love versus Bryce Young. If the Packers lose this game, I'm probably going to lose my damn mind. The Packers better damn well beat the Carolina Panthers. The Packers' playoff hopes are literally barely alive. They're barely alive. And if you lose to the Panthers, you are eliminated from playoff contention in my eyes. I'm telling you right now, I'll be on suicide watch. If the Packers lose to the Panthers, I'm going to lose my damn mind. So I'm going to roll with the Packers to respond in a big way. Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, he needs to get his act together and put his players in better positions to be successful. I roll with the Packers to beat the Panthers 28-13. Let's go to Christmas Eve and the matchups. The Seattle Seahawks favored by 3.5 points. They're traveling to Tennessee. They're taking on the Titans. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. The over-under is 41.5. The Seahawks had a very, very impressive win against the Eagles on Monday night. Drew Lock had the drive of his life on that last possession, on that game-winning drive for the Seahawks. But I still don't think Drew Lock is very good. I'm rolling with the Tennessee Titans to beat the Seahawks 20-17. The Indianapolis Colts are traveling to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 2.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. The over-under for this matchup is 44.5. I don't believe in what Arthur Smith is doing right now with this Atlanta Falcons football team. They had a bad loss last week to the Carolina Panthers, and I don't believe in what they're doing at the quarterback position. They benched Derek Ritter for Taylor Heineke. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Colts are trying to get into the playoffs. I'm rolling with the Colts to beat the Falcons in Atlanta. I'm going Colts 21, Falcons 20. The Cleveland Browns favored by 3 points. They are traveling to Houston to take on the Houston Texans. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. The over-under for this matchup is 40.5. Somehow, some way, Kevin Stefanski has this Cleveland Browns team in the playoffs. They keep finding different ways to win football games. He's winning games now with Joe Flacco. Yes, Joe Flacco. I'm not sure if C.J. Stroud is going to play in this game for the Texans, but I'm assuming he's not. If he doesn't play, the Browns will beat the Texans 17-14. If C.J. Stroud plays, the Texans have a chance to win this matchup, but the Texans are fighting for their playoff lives. They need C.J. Stroud back. Now, I think they did beat the Titans last week in very impressive fashion, but you're not making the playoffs if you don't have C.J. Stroud. The Washington Commanders are traveling to New York to take on the New York Jets. The Jets are favored by 3 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. The over-under for this matchup is 37.5. This game is irrelevant, but I'm going to roll with the Commanders to beat the Jets 21-17. The Detroit Lions favored by 3 points. They're traveling to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Minneapolis. The over-under for this matchup is 47.5. Jared Goff is better than Nick Mullins. I believe the Lions are trying to get into a rhythm as they head into the playoffs, and I think they're overall a better football team than the Vikings are. This is the first matchup between these two teams in the final 3 weeks. They play against each other in Week 18 as well. I'm rolling with the Lions to beat the Vikings 31-17. The Jacksonville Jaguars are traveling down south to take on Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Jaguars are underdogs in this matchup. The Bucs are favored by 3 points. It's a 4:05 kickoff. The over-under is 40.5. I'm rolling with the Jacksonville Jaguars in an upset. The Jaguars have lost 3 straight games. They are trying to win the AFC South and host a home playoff game. I expect the Jaguars to respond in a big way. I'm going Trevor Lawrence, 24, Baker Mayfield, 17. The Arizona Cardinals are traveling to Chicago to take on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. The Bears are favored by 4 points. It's a 4:25 p.m. kickoff. The over-under for this matchup is 43.5. Kyler Murray is better than Justin Fields currently is. I like how the Bears beat the Lions a few weeks ago, but they're still the Bears. I'm going to roll with the Cardinals in an upset over the Bears. I'm going Kyler Murray, 30. Justin Fields, 20. The New England Patriots are traveling to Denver to take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are favored by 7 points, 8:15 p.m. kickoff. The over-under is 34.5. The Broncos will beat the Patriots. The Broncos are a better football team than the Patriots are. I expect the Broncos to have a bounce-back performance. They lost last week to Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. I expect them to have a bounce-back performance. They're trying to make the playoffs in the AFC. I'll go Broncos 21, Patriots 14. Christmas Day games. The Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 10 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Kansas City. The over-under is 40.5. The Chiefs are trying to be the number 1 or number 2 seed in the AFC. I'm going to roll with the Chiefs to beat the Raiders. I'm going Chiefs 28, Raiders 17. The New York Giants are traveling to Philly to take on Jalen Hurts and the struggling Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 13.5 points. It's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff in Philadelphia. The over-under is 42.5. Eagles are struggling. They're on a 3-game losing streak. This is a game the Eagles must win. I think the Eagles finished the season with the Giants twice and the Cardinals as well in there. So I need the Eagles to have a dominating performance against the Giants. So I'm going to roll with the Eagles to beat the Giants. Eagles 35, Giants 17. Those are my NFL Week 16 Wise Picks. Everybody, go follow Wise Guys on Twitter at WiseGuys_H. Also on Facebook, Wise Guys. Be sure to follow Wise Guys on Instagram at These Guys Know Sports.